Module 5.3 has talked to us about fundamental duties and democratic values. So, their duties and responsibilities together, they come hand in hand. When we want something, we need to give back also. So, the case study, the Sarovar Revival, a test of fundamental duties and democratic values. The background of the case study now is the Sarovar, which is a community pond, once a vital water source and a place of cultural significance for the village, has fallen into disrepair. It's heavily polluted with plastic waste, construction debris, and stagnant water, leading to mosquito breeding and foul odors. This neglect poses a health risk to the community, especially children, and has eroded a piece of the village's heritage. The village experiences this issue amidst a vibrant local democracy. Regular Gram Sabha village assembly meetings are held where citizens have the right to voice concerns and participate in local governance. Local elections for the Gram Panchayat, the village council, were recently concluded, and the newly elected Sarpanch, Mrs. Kiran Devi, a young and dynamic leader, has promised to address community issues. Now, here we are going to see that how the fundamental duties and the democratic values fall into place, and how this particular community is able to together, with the help of the governance, able to survive and manage to retrieve the community pond for future use. Now we are going to take a detailed look into this particular case study, that is the Sarovar revival. That is a test of fundamental duty and democratic value. How the community pond is revived and manages to survive. Now, the relevant constitutional provision. What does the provision according to the Constitution involves and include? Democratic values, participation, the right of citizens to participate in governance, accountability, the expectation that elective representatives will be accountable to the people, justice and equality, ensuring a healthy environment for all, irrespective of social standing, rule of law, adherence to established procedures and laws. Fundamental duties. Article 51A of the Indian Constitution. G. To protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures directly relevant to cleaning the pond. Pointer I. To safeguard public property and to abjure violence. The pond is public property. Pointer J. To strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Collective action for community betterment. Pointer E. To promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, and regional or sectional diversities. It requires unity in action. The challenges, bridging rights and responsibilities. Many villagers complain about the Sarovar's condition, citing their right to a clean environment. However, a few take proactive steps, often wanting for the government to act. The Sarpanch, Mrs. Kiran Devi, faces the challenge of mobilizing the community, balancing their rights with their duties. Now, the intervention or the citizen led action guided by duties. Initial frustration, rights without duties. In a Gram Sabha meeting, several villagers passionately demanded that the Panchayat clean the Sarovar. While they assert their democratic right to a clean environment, there's little talk of personal responsibility or collective contribution. Some even blame specific groups. Mrs. Kiran Devi's democratic leadership and appeal to duties. Sarpanch Kiran Devi acknowledges their concerns but shifts the narrative. She reminds the villagers of their fundamental duties as enshrined in the constitution. Now she highlights Article 51AG, emphasizing that protecting and improving the natural environment is every citizen's duty, not just the government's. She points to Article 51AI, reminding them that the Sarovar is public property and safeguarding it is a shared responsibility. She invokes Article 51AJ, urging them to strive towards excellence in collective activity for the betterment of the community. She proposes a collaborative model. The panchayat will provide machinery, some funds for material, but the community must contribute labor and supervision. Civic engagement and deliberation, democratic value and participation. Initially, there's resistance. Some argue they pay taxes, so it's the government's job, that is Kiran Devi. However, potentially, patiently explains that true democracy involves active citizenship. She facilitates open discussions on how local action complements government efforts. She forms a Sarovar Revival Committee with representatives from different wards, including elder women and youth, ensuring inclusive participation, a core democratic value. The action upholding duties and strengthening democracy. Collective labor, duty in action, that is, inspired by Ms. Kiran Devi's leadership and the constitutional reminder, villagers start volunteering. Farmers contribute their tractors for debris removal, women organize food for volunteers, and youth, they lead daily cleanup drives. This direct action embodies 51AG and 51AI. Promoting harmony, 51AE. The shared goal of cleaning the Sarovar naturally fosters a spirit of unity. People from different social and economic backgrounds work side by side, promoting common brotherhood and breaking down minor village disputes. Developing scientific temper, implicit in 51AH. The committee invites local environmental experts to advise on sustainable methods for waste disposal and water purification, subtly encouraging a scientific approach to problem solving. Accountability and transparency, democratic value. The Sarpanch ensures transparency in the use of panchayat funds and volunteer hours. Regular updates are shared in the Gram Sabha meetings, fostering trust and accountability. Now, the consequences and outcome. Revived Sarovar. Within 6 months, the Shogi Sarovar is transformed. It's clean, has fresh water from controlled rainfall harvesting, and has been beautified with planted trees, reflecting the direct impact of 51AG, that it once again becomes a community hub. Strengthening local democracy, active citizenship. The project stressfully and successfully demonstrated that rights are best realized when coupled with duties. Citizens who previously only demanded action learned the power of collective effort and ownership. Voter turnout in future local elections might even see an increase as people feel their participation truly matters. Accountable leadership. Kiran Devi appeals to duties combined with her transparent leadership, built immense trust. The community saw that their elective representative was not just fulfilling her duties but also empowering them to fulfill theirs. Enhance civic consciousness. The success fosters a sense of pride and shared identity in the community. It encourages citizens to apply the same spirit of duty bound action to other local issues as well. Embody democratic values. The entire process highlighted that democratic values like participation, accountability, justice, and community well being are not abstract ideals but are actively built and sustained by citizens fulfilling their fundamental duties. The right to a clean environment was achieved not just by demanding it, but by acting on the duty to protect it. Now, in conclusion to the case study, the Sarovar revival case study demonstrates the fundamental duties in India that are not mere moral precepts but are essential pillars that strengthen and give meaning to democratic values. They bridge gap between abstract rights and tangible responsibilities. They empower citizens to move beyond passive recipients of state services to active participants in nation building at the grassroots level. They foster a sense of collective ownership and shared purposes. It is very vital for vibrant and functional democracy. So, the crux of the case study, when citizens in this community embraced their fundamental duties to protect the environment and strive for collective excellence, they not only revitalized their local landmark but also revigorated the democratic spirit of their village, proving that a thriving democracy depends as much on the duties performed by its citizens as on the rights that it grants to them.